Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This homie and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Shouts out to S Jacques and Malaika Mebane for coming through on the CashApp, to C Peterson for buying me about 5 copies, and to our new member who did not give me permission to say his name on this platform. But we got a new business class member on the Jet Black Airways Lounge, platformed by buymeacoffee.com. Y'all should check it out. A few things are free, but most things are not. So if you go into the post that are public, that's just a glimpse of what you can see if you get a membership. And there's more available for the first class than there is for the business class. And for the business class, some things are not permanently available. Anyway, I would like to point out to y'all that from S Jacques, I'm getting a view into what's happening in the black world beyond just the Anglophone or the Anglosphere of the black world. Some things are being discussed primarily in French, and so we have less of a likelihood of finding out what they are. But, and some of you are coming through and advising me on my questions. I wanted to know why the Sahel Alliance does not send in some of the soldiers to help out the Haitian police against the gangs. I was informed they can't really spare them, and I've come to find out that that probably is true because Chad is looking to at least become more favorable in the eyes of the Sahel Alliance, because Chad is now telling France, pack up your fit and go. I understand why. So this means pretty much that France will have no more presence in the Sahel region. And I don't know how true it is that the militant groups are gaining ground in these areas. I don't know. Is that true or not? But what I do know is that apparently they gained them when France becomes involved, and that they are the pretense for France's involvement militarily in the Sahel region. Now, truth be told, I don't even know if those militant groups are real. But what I'm telling you about is that for us to follow these things, you may have to have someone who can find the discussions and understand in both languages if the discussion is true or not. Does the English discussion match the French one? And then they can send you a link. S Jacques has been indispensable in that. The other thing too is that I'm fortunate in that I have a wife with whom I can discuss even these issues, not always in depth, and that doesn't have to be her thing, but respectfully. I don't get that many of you have that and can find that and ever will find that. From what I can gather from many of you, that's not an option. You don't have that choice. You're not going to be able to find someone with whom you can have those discussions, because many sisters are pro-black woman, not pro-black. And unfortunately, this is true even for the Muslimahs. Now, the Western black Muslimahs are the worst, hands down right now. They may not stay the same forever, but they are spreading certain things to African Muslim women that are not Western. And they're telling these women how they want them to view the world, and they're beginning to view it that way. Even though Nigeria is facing a shift in the trend, I don't want it to be the case, but it is. So I say this to tell you that you got your work cut out for you. I wish you didn't, but you do.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Assalamu alaikum, darkness. So, you guys may not be able to have these conversations about justice, reparations, because in all honesty, you face a scenario where when you discuss anything, these sisters are like, who cares, go build something. And then when you do try to build something, you have to have a discussion with somebody to do it. And then they say, stop talking, go build. So you're going to face this even from the women that were supposed to be the most community-minded, the black Muslimah pro-blacks with the fist in the air and the natural hair, but underneath the hijab. And yeah, even them, they got the solution. They're sitting on it. They got the same instructions we do, but they don't care about the solution. And what I want to tell you is that when I have told you about what the solution is, there is something that people are calling an American Islam. That doesn't exist. They're making it up. Now, there are understandings that we reach in the Americas that are not focused on enough here where I live, and vice versa as well. There are things about which the people here are quite good, but they suck in some other things. A regional variation is actually very normal. You know about that. You expect it. That's nothing new to you. But that phenomena in the Americas, especially in the United States and Canada, is being referred to as American Islam, as if it's some sort of re-revelation that uncovers new realities that were hidden the last time that the Lord revealed, which he already told us was his last revelation. That's what it boils down to. So you got these sisters talking about women's rights, which do exist, but they're talking about them for the wrong reasons. And so underneath the cloak of this, they're going to start saying to you, who cares, go build something, and they want you to not discuss anything. And the reason is that they want you to be focused on working and providing and getting results while they sit up and yap and plan. That's what they're looking to do. And this is why I say to you, no, don't do that. That's why I say to you guys, don't even entertain them. I'm telling you guys that the solution is a solution, but part of that solution, in order for it to work for you, means that you will have to avoid the women that subscribe to the same solution if they're doing it over there where you live. Not because I hate them, but because they are looking out for themselves and they're not looking out for the unit. They're not looking out for the whole. You are looking out for the couple. They're not. It's like some have said, you're in love, she's in business. But she demands that you be in love while she insists on being in business. And they're even so much as becoming so impatient about that they're beginning to tell you, they're inching closer and closer to outright saying to you, listen, I'm in business, you need to be in love so I can remain in business, and it becomes easier. You being in love while I'm in business is good for me being in business. That's why I'll never sign a prenup. That's what they're trying to tell you. So if you have discussions about what it is that do matter to us, what's going on in other black nations, when you have these discussions about what's happening in Kenya and how good it is for Austin, how good it is for those whom he's meeting there, especially Nairobi, when you're having these conversations, understand that there are going to be some women who have subscribed to the same solution in name. And they ain't doing what Crimson Cure is doing, because Crimson Cure is looking at the rights of the man, the rights of the woman, the responsibilities of the man, the responsibilities of the woman. She's looking at both. They're not. They're looking at, I don't have to do anything that the rules say, but you need to do everything that the rules tell you. In other words, rules for thee, trinkets for me. Her money's her money, your money's her money. That sort of thing. When in reality, that's not really an Islamic principle. It's your job to provide, but it's your job to provide within your means, which you don't have, you just don't have. And she's not allowed to sit up and demand that you somehow have more. It's not okay. She doesn't get to do that. She has less of a right to do that than a non-Muslim woman does. And that's what they don't tell you. So with that being said, good morning, sir. So with that being said, I wanted you to understand that as you and I discuss these things, and I've already mentioned what the solution is, you're going to hear what is anathematic to the solution coming from those who have subscribed to the same thing. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Unfortunately, when somebody has that mindset that that's what it's going to be, then you have to understand that what would have been your responsibility now becomes an impossibility, and you cannot fulfill it. An example of that, I can illustrate with my students again. I told my students at the very beginning, from the outset, what it was, what it is. what it's going to be. I told him that I know how much their dads paid for them to take this semester, and that I was not going to waste their dad's money, but that they needed to do what I told them so that they did not waste their father's money. I would not waste it. I told them what they needed to do as soon as I found out what their mistakes and their weaknesses were. They did not do these things. They argued. They debated. But they did not do what the work I told them to do. And so consequently, since they weren't going to do what I told them to do, now that the semester is about to end and they take their last departmental exam tomorrow, they want to come to my office and bother me about what they can do to raise their averages. And I'm saying to them, it is too damn late. You did not learn English correctly. You learned it, but not correctly like I taught it. You're not going to pass, and it's out of my hands at this point. Get out of my face. It's not my job. I told them this. Now, I have office hours. Do you think that I can afford to meet my office hours now and be available to them in these last few days? I cannot afford that, because all that will happen is that the other things I need to do, they won't let me finish doing, because they're trying to last minute save themselves when they could have saved themselves from the very beginning. It is like that with you and these ladies that are going to subscribe to the solution in name or claim it. How's it going? Good morning. So when they start talking about it's your job to provide, well, you know what? You're not going to be able to provide for them. If you're going to provide, you provide for somebody else, not her. And I'm going to tell you that not only do you not need to not try to provide for her, you got to watch out for that white Western woman too. Even if she accepts Islam, you got to watch out for her. Because to whom is she going to look up? Whom is she going to follow? She may be serious in her intention, but who's she gonna follow after? You get where I'm going with this? I'm saying this because you're not even going to be able to have the right discussions with them for the sake of the black family. You can't have the right discussions with them for that. They're gonna shut that down. And it's not necessarily going to always be better because you got somebody from the continent. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It's a gamble. If you know the region for which you're marrying her, that's fine. If you don't, go ahead and leave. Bounce. If somebody can vet her or vouch for her, and she's from the continent, go ahead. If nobody can, don't even entertain it. What's the reason? Who they gonna look up to? The discussions you would want to have about the family are not possible with them because they will not listen. They will not hear a damn thing you say. Morning. They wouldn't let you finish the sentence. They wouldn't let you get the word in edgewise. You can't even get the point across. She will also turn around and say, who cares? Go build something. What have you built? What have you accomplished? No matter what you have. I'll never forget when I got a good job, the one good job I had, then I lost it. And when I called my wife at that time and told her that I lost it and I was going to go back into Atlanta, and then from there I was going to carry our oldest daughter to the Gulf Coast because I would look for work in the Gulf Coast since I never found it in Atlanta and I was not even entertaining hope of finding a job in Atlanta. I said, it's not happening. So I'm going to go to the Gulf Coast, take our oldest daughter there, let her sit out, and the Gulf Coast thaw out for a winter because she was under stress. And my wife at that time said, I don't understand. Didn't they say that you were doing a good job? I thought they were happy with what you were doing. What happened? And I told her they laid off a bunch of people. Not just me, they laid off a bunch. The northern whites, black folk, anybody they thought might have voted for Obama, they laid them off. They thought I did too, so they laid me off. And she said, well, I told her, at this point, I know that I actually have done what it takes to earn a good position. I know that. So since I've done what it takes to earn one, I'm not settling anymore for these menial labor positions where they don't pay anything, but they ask you a whole lot of hours and a whole lot of in the way of the work and their responsibilities. And she said, oh, no, you're not really deserving. You just got lucky and found this job. Excuse me, what? They said that I had earned my place and then they laid us off. What do you mean I just got lucky? I didn't know where this came from. I didn't realize she was pulling a Michelle Obama. This is the training. They're told to do this. And here you and I are. Not realizing that they all have been trained and they've all reached the same agreement that they're all going to do this exact same damn thing. Downplay your accomplishments, downplay your wins, and play up your losses. And that's when they have subscribed to the solution, and this is not something that is brand new either. Some of this has been going on for decades. I hope that what I've said is a benefit. Thank you for listening, and as always, black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual, non-select male power because they don't like it, black patriarch until extinction of judgment day. Thank you for flying with us here on Jet Black Airways with a phrase, jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.